because the top scorers in qualification came from other countries. You can explain.
That's right. Standout results for Ellie Black of Canada and Larissa Iordache of Romania. Well ahead of their rivals in the all-around competition. 56.05 for Ellie Black. A great start to her campaign. Slightly behind Iordache, 55.7. But also great chances for the Japanese gymnast Asuka Teramoto in third place. A few marks behind, but she did have an error on uneven bars in the qualification. If she can have a clean competition, she'll be challenging for a top spot in today's competition.
Yeah, 2 years ago, you know, Kelly Sim did win this competition, but Teramoto was second, Zasada was third, and Filipa Martins was fourth, and the Portuguese is here in contention as well. So it looks like quite an open competition, but Ellie Black is in form. We've talked about those World Championships in Montreal, and great incentive for Ellie to work really hard and put in a good performance before those World Championships as well. So we're just looking through those start lists then. We do have a local representation with Mai Louise Shanhan as well. It's one of the reasons that this stadium is full, because whenever the Chinese Taipei gymnasts have been here, they've got a wonderful reception. They really have, getting behind their gymnasts. But as we were saying, lots of competition for the top spots. We talked about Teramoto. Don't forget Evgenia Shelgunova, who won gold with the team competition, of course. There's a couple of German gymnasts as well, Lea Grisa and Pauline Tratt. Both of them just missed out on going to the Olympics. They're in the test event but didn't actually make it. Talked about Anna Martins and Larissa Iordache, who was really the young star of Romanian gymnastics. Has had some terrible injury problems of late, but she's a wonderful talent, isn't she, from a country that's having a hard time at the moment, but has got that great tradition in women's artistic gymnastics.
Yeah, certainly unusual for Romania not to be able to send a team to Rio 2016. Iordache was due to go to Rio, but unfortunately injury prevented her from going. Catalina Ponor went in her place, but she really has something to prove. Bronze all around in Glasgow 2015 shows just how good she is around four pieces of apparatus.
Yes, the legendary Ponor was there as the first choice, and she went as an alternate, but she didn't really have the form to justify going in as the top spot for Romania. And as a 21-year-old, she still has one Olympics ahead of her, so we'll look forward to seeing her. And also from the Netherlands, Vera van Pol has qualified for this final. Look out for her as well, because the Dutch are having a good time as well.
Yeah, the girls going in two rotations, 9 in each apparatus group, 18 in the final, 2 from each country. And they'll do a split warm-up, 5 and 4, moving around the 4 apparatus. The top group starting on vault, going in Olympic order, and the next 9 beginning on uneven bars.
A wonderful competition earlier today with Oleg Vanayev, proving just why he's one of the greats of men's gymnastics. Was pretty much faultless going through, a really good performance. And you know, he's pretty stoic during the competition, but I saw him during the medal ceremony and just coming off, and he was a pretty emotional figure, Paul, and coming off he pumped his fist at the camera. He was really delighted to get that. That's his 11th Universiade medal. Certainly a legend of this competition, and I was saying very nearly picked Uchimura for the all-round gold at Rio, and it did mean a lot to him, Paul.
Absolutely, he's a competitive, ambitious guy. He loves the Universiade. Same result as 2 years ago. All-around champion, defended his title, and he's got 4 apparatus finals to do tomorrow. Potential for 6 medals, the same result that he had just a few years ago.
Talking of which, Ellie Black, you know, she's got 4 finals tomorrow as well, so she's a busy gymnast. And Larissa Iordache has 3 as well, so we're going to see a lot of those athletes. But we're ready to pretty much get underway here for this women's all-around final. 18 in contention, and certainly this woman, Asuka Teramoto, going to kick things off here in Chinese Taipei.
Big chances for Teramoto in this all-around competition as she begins on vault. Great start, handspring, front somersault with 1.5 twists, solid landing. She's on her way.
The silver medalist 2 years ago was Teramoto. racked up a score then, Paul, of 55.965. The code has changed since then, so to get close to that will be a very good performance. What kind of score do you think we should be looking at for a total, as a gold medal winning total here?
Well, Ellie Black scored a 56 in qualifications, and somewhere near that is going to come close to winning today. The scores have reduced somewhat from the Rio code. Every 4 years the cycle changes. There's some adaptations, some adjustments to the element requirements, the composition requirements, so they might be a little bit down from the Olympic cycle last year.
Black 56.050, including a huge 14.65 on the vault, and 14.5 for Teramoto, the silver medalist 2 years ago.
A good start.
Elsewhere, by the way, Brianna Sang from Canada is on the uneven bars. But we're going to concentrate on the group that should see the favourites. One never knows, but the group currently on the vault looks stronger. They've got the better scores from qualification, although everyone starts from zero, let's be clear. Didn't used to be like that many years ago, but we start from zero now.
Gina Shelgunova just waiting for the green light to start her competition on the vault.
20-year-old from Smolensk, turned 20 this month. She was third in the all-arounds at the last Russian Championship, so that's an impressive thing to have on your CV.
Chenko vault with 1.5 twists off. Safely through. A few form faults in the second flight, which the judges will pick up. The important thing is it was safe. Good determined run up. Backwards entry onto the horse. Had to bend the legs a little bit to get it round.
.85 was her qualifying score with 13.5, so quite a way back on Ellie Black, as you were saying. It's fully 3.5 points, only 4 points. You see Russian fans in attendance. As always, they take this competition very seriously. 13.850, so it's at least an improvement on the qualies there. 0.38 better, 3.5 better, excuse me, as Leah Grisa gets ready. Grisa was one of the team that was in the test event for Rio. But unluckily for her, didn't actually make the first team. Based in Karlsruhe, southwest Germany. Let's see how she starts.
Handspring pike front somersault, safely executed. Not the biggest tariff, but well performed.
The Germans did well, didn't they? Olympics 5th finish, which is very creditable. And
absolutely, and a good job from this young lady in helping them to qualify at the test event earlier on.
Coached under Ulla Koch. And she's actually at the same club as Pauline Tratz in Karlsruhe. So two girls who know each other very well indeed. It's like lower score though, Paul.
Yes, 12.85, affected by a 4.2 from the D jury.
So we've seen Teramoto, 14.5, set the bar high. Now Sasada, bronze medalist a couple of years ago from the Nippon Sports Science University in the capital.
Yurchenko with full twist, well performed. Carrying a 4.6 start score. Small jump on the landing. But manages to stay between the tram lines. No deduction for deviation there.
Due to go to the London Olympics with Sasada, but injured her right wrist, really unlucky, so missed out on London 2012.
I think competed in Gwangju as well. 13.7. A good mark from the E-jury there, 9.1. Execution deductions taken from 10. Anything above 9 is quite respectable.
She got 2 medals 2 years ago, the bronze in the all-around and that team silver that I mentioned. Now, Ellie Black, a lot of interest in this gymnast around the world. 5th in the all-around at the Rio Olympics.
Yes, very consistent, solid performer. 7th all-around in the world, 2015. Great pedigree. 23 years old, plenty of experience. That's a great start. Handspring full twist, solid, secure. She means business.
Ellie Black, you know, that was the best ever performance by a Canadian woman, 5th in the all-around. Just shows what a superb performance that was, and the World Championships coming up on home soil.
Yes, and it looks like she's peaking perfectly for that competition coming up in a few weeks' time.
Still based out in Nova Scotia. It's a huge country, of course, Canada, and even there she's based outlying towns, Halifax. 14.5. That's a really good start. Yeah, well done to Ellie Black.
Coached here by David Kikuchi, himself a high-level international gymnast on the men's program. Moved across to coaching women, very successfully so too. Fantastic result for the Canadian team just yesterday. They've got a busy 3 days, no more so than Ellie Black.
Got a little bit more rest, didn't they, because they went before the Russians and the Japanese. Is that going to have any impact today, the fact that Canada went earlier in the day yesterday?
Well, I think the men competed the day before, but the women have got 3 consecutive days of competition now, which is quite demanding, especially for the likes of Ellie Black with 4 finals. She'll have done the team final yesterday. She's here for the all-around today and back again tomorrow for 4 more pieces. That's 12 routines in 3 days. Big demand.
Yeah. A little bit more rest for her. She could have finished early, although she was still here, of course, for the medal ceremony, so she probably didn't get back to the village and back to bed any earlier than the others, but at least she finished the hard stuff earlier on. Vera van Pol is about to go on, meanwhile, on the uneven bars. Jasmine Marder of Austria, 12.4. So as we suspected, the scores are much more interesting on the vaults for the moment, but we will keep an eye on the women in the other group.
First 5 gymnasts have gone on the vault, and just waiting for uneven bars to complete before the second subdivision on this apparatus happens. Remember, 9 for each apparatus in 2 warm-ups.
Yep, it's quite a big group to manage, although it does save actually on judging. You need obviously fewer judges if there's a larger group. That's always a factor. You do need a lot of judges in this sport. So far we've had Ellie Black and Asuka Teramoto 14.5 setting down the marker. I should say that Black actually scored 14.65 in qualifying, so she's slightly lower, but nevertheless a very respectable score. Still to go.
There's the score for Van Pol, 12.1.
Yep.
Which gives us our next gymnast, Dorian Motin of Belgium. Beautiful height on that Shaposhnikova. Back to the low bar with a half turn. Great lines. Good solid approach to this apparatus as Motin. Miles high in that ginger. This is good work from the Belgian. Change of grip into the 4 giants. Nice routine. Double front somersault. She should be happy with that.
Motin, one of the taller women in competition. That doesn't help on the uneven bars, but didn't let her affect that performance. Not too many mistakes there.
More difficult, but if you can work those bars, those lines are in your favour. Great aesthetics from Motin on this apparatus. Posted 12.25 in the qualifications. Let's see if that's going to improve on yesterday's performance.
Let's see what score Motta will get. She's from Ghent University.
One more gymnast to go in this first section.
.25 was her score in qualifying.
Yes, well, very well executed that routine. Beautiful dismount, double front somersault, knees locked together. Stayed on the apparatus.
12.95.
Yes, that's a big improvement.
And it was a decent all-round display apart from the beam. She only scored 9.7. That really let her down. So if she can get a similar score for the other three apparatus and get the beam up to 12 or even higher, she could certainly be top 10, if not better.
Absolutely. Move to Dalia Alsati of Hungary. Coach getting ready for the big release. Here it comes. Pike Jaeger safely caught. Compulsory requirement down to the low bar. Pack salto. Moving back up to the high bar in preparation for the dismount. Clear circle. Accelerating the giants. Double pike somersault. Safely through.
Warming up.
Completes the first round and gives the second group a chance for a 3-minute warm-up. No surprises that Ellie Black into an early lead with a good first vault, 14.5, and Teramoto starting well with the same score, 14.5 from her as well.
We're seeing Alsati there, the 21-year-old from the capital, Budapest. A big cheer as the Chinese Taipei gymnast, Mei Lui Xiang Han, starts her warm-up.
Chinese Taipei, Slovakia, and Finland.
You can see the hand guards that a lot of gymnasts elect to use. Not compulsory, but most gymnasts will wear them now. Plenty of wear and tear on the hands with blisters from the numerous repetitions that these girls have to make on the apparatus. The guards provide some sort of protection for the skin so they can repeat the element in training many times.
So 9 in each of those subdivisions, Paul, also with their coaches. So it's quite busy there up there, isn't it? And the girls, some of them seem to know each other a little bit, but they are competing individually as opposed to for the team. So it's busier up there next to the uneven bars. 11.9 for Alsati.
That's good, 9th place so far. Good to see a real mix of nations in the top 18 competition today. Representation from Asia, Europe, far and wide. Girls on bars in the all-around competition get to practice 50 seconds to go through their routine. Slightly longer than the other apparatus, just 30 seconds or a couple of volts.
Just watching the warm-up then for the second set of a gymnast in this first apparatus. The individual all-around competition where all the women go on the 4 apparatus And the best score wins.
Uneven bars, warming up finish, competition begins.
So, to Daria Spiridonova on the vault.
Part of the team that went to Rio, 19-year-old.
Full twist in Yurchenko. Great form in the air. It's a good piece to start on his vault. To get all the nerves out of the way, run fast, good strong block. Gymnast aiming to clearly stick the landing right down the centre. Marks lost for the steps and for deviation to one side. But that was a good safe vault to open Spiridonova's campaign today. Moving to the uneven bars, Gabriela Janik of Poland. Safely through the transitions from low to high. Has to show a release and catch. There it is, Ginga Salto. Beautiful extension, great height. Toe on and off to handstand. Kachev facing in towards the low bar. Now working very hard. Very quick grip change, just about got it round. And a double front dismount. Clean routine. Coach punches the air. She's very happy. That's a good start for Janik of Poland.
Yeah, she's delighted with that. Spiridonova was 13.65, in case you missed that, as Pauline Tratz gets ready.
Determined and solid. That was great height, great extension on that full twist Yurchenko. For me, slightly straighter than Spiridonova.
That was Tratz just a few seconds ago, 13.85.
Yes, a few tenths higher. Third place on vault for that.
0.15 of a point better than in the qualifying. Anna Martins, familiar figure to Universiade fans. She was fourth in the all-around a couple of years ago.
Very popular vault, the full twist Yurchenko. Well executed by Anna Filipa. He was a medalist here a few years ago in Gwangju.
Yeah, on the beam, got the bronze, and to quite a lot of surprise. I know you were surprised, but it was a good display from the Portuguese, based in University of Porto, coached by Cristina Gomes since she was 7 years old. It's often the way, isn't it? a gymnast meets a coach very young. The chemistry works, and it certainly worked for Martins. Very regular appearer at the Worlds. She's been there 3 times, in fact. 16th in the all-around in 2014. Mailui Xianghan for Chinese Taipei, ready to go on the uneven bars.
Good catch for the Pike Jaeger. Spurred on by a very vociferous crowd. Into the Ginga. Good work, 3 releases already. Just to make the compulsory transition to the low bar. Looking well so far, needs a good solid dismount. 1.5 twist. Great start.
The fans like it. 11.7 was the score in qualifying from that apparatus. I'll be looking good to get more than that at least. here in the final. Martin's 13.3, incidentally, only 7th best. As Larissa Yildaki gets ready.
Important vault, this.
This was a few seconds ago, Paul.
Double twist Yurchenko, the most difficult we've seen so far. That'll increase her start score.
As we look back at Mai Louis. Just qualified, 18th place. It's always nice to see the home country represented in these all-around finals. Hopes of a nation are with her.
Yildiz, a good start on vault, 14.4, just 1/10 behind Ellie Black.
Indeed.
But just those two gymnasts so far above 14, ahead of the rest of the gymnasts so far.
Just waiting on the score for Mai Louis. Been to the World Championships a couple of times in 2011 and 15 without getting in to the top 100. 12.4.
Big improvement.
It was 0.7 points better than in qualifying. As the Slovak Barbara Mokosova gets ready.
Nice straddle Jaeger. Good combination there. Pack salto into the Stolder. Moving well between the bars. Tall gymnast, having to work really hard with those long levers. Great powerful kick into that double pike. Good work. Coached by Martin Vallo. Here's the connection. Pack salto into Stolder. Toe on, straight back to the high bar. With the shoot half turn into the toe fall. Back into the mo.
Just to recap the top marks for Black and Teramoto, 14.5 apiece for those two, and Yildaki just behind, 14.4. So we're going to stick with the uneven bars just to reflect the multinational nature of this competition. From Finland, Maili Lennonen. It's a country you've worked in a few times. Well, you're going to work in, I believe. You already been there, Paul?
Yes, many times. A great tradition of gymnastics in Finland. Results on the men's side, Olympic medals with Jani Tanskanen. A good tradition for the girls as well. Mokosova, 12.775 for her uneven bars.
So Maija Lennonen at the Haga University of Applied Sciences, quite a useful thing to study, isn't it, for the uneven bars?
Absolutely. Oh, there's the Jaeger, but had to take an extra swing. Needs to recover now. She's struggling. Let's do attempts at the upstart cast. Quick shuffle along to the middle of the bars. Ball twisting giant into the double back. She's through.
It looked like Lennon felt she didn't quite have the strength in the halfway point through that routine.
Maybe feeling the nerves a little bit, I think. The work was good, but there were a few little hiccups along the way.
So we are 1/4 of the way through this final. Black and Teramoto 14.5 each. Yodake 14.4. And there's quite a big gap already with Pauline Tretz 13.85. And I think the two Russians, Shelgunova and Spiridonova.
And interesting to see that the competition's going exactly to form.
Yep.
The gymnasts ranked perfectly according to their qualification results.
Black, Yordak and Teramoto in qualifying. So it's slightly different. Teramoto gone from third up to second, but very early days.
Yeah, 3 gymnasts above 14.
Yeah. What a bit of work though for the two Russians with Shelgunova 13.85 and Spiridonova 13.65. So they have work to do.
Warming up.
The fans here have really enjoyed their days of top-class artistic gymnastics. The Chinese Taipei team have already got a lot of new fans. I was wandering around the stadium yesterday and everyone wanted a photo with the Chinese Taipei gymnastics. Lots of journalists here as well. A lot from Japan as well. I noticed a lot of Japanese journalists over speaking with the men earlier. And this is a big event in the world of artistic gymnastics, especially for those countries. Russia have sent not their A team here, but some very good gymnasts. And for the likes of Yordake and Black from the countries that aren't quite in the Premier League of gymnastics at the moment, it's a really good opportunity for them to mix it with the best.
Yeah, it's a very enthusiastic audience. They've been treated to some wonderful displays in the last few days. The Chinese Taipei team, the men, have made vast improvements under the coaching of Sadao Hamada. The girls are moving up nicely as well. Some highlights from the first round. Teramoto on vault, very fast.
Most of the attention now will go on to the uneven bars. Got a taster for what's going to go on tomorrow, Paul, because a lot of these girls, as you would expect, have qualified for the final of the uneven bars. Shelgunova will be there, Leah Grisa will be there, Spiridonova will be there, Yordak will be there, and Black. So, bit of a taster for the individual final tomorrow on the uneven bars. That should be a great competition as well.
Gymnasts not only fighting for an all-around place, but using this competition as a warm-up and a preparation for tomorrow's apparatus final. Bristling with talent for this group. We've got Daria Spiridonova, current world champion on this piece of apparatus. She's pretty good. Larissa Yodake also scoring 14.15 ahead of Spiridonova yesterday, who had a little error. If she can go through clean, she's going to count a massive score, as will Ellie Black.
Russia won the gold yesterday, but they counted on that brilliant performance from Elizarova at the death on the floor to overcome the Canadians, who will nevertheless be very happy with a silver medal. Japan in third in the team competition.
We're looking at Jasmine Maeder of Austria on the beam. So far performing very steadily on this most exacting of apparatus. Nice free walkover, split leap combination. Small adjustment, but she's staying on. Good confident side somersault. And again a back somersault to dismount.
Good. Well, she's one of the taller women here, Paul. 1m68, 5'6". So that's on the tall side for a female gymnast. Is Shelgunova back on the uneven bars now.
Lovely toe on full turn, straight into the shap. Back to the low bar. And adding a half turn to the Shaposhnikova. Beautiful into the Pipe Jaeger. And Kachev building the content of the routine. Judges looking for the 8 most difficult elements, satisfying all the composition requirements. And a nice double layout somersault to finish. Good routine for Shelgunova.
6th best overall in qualifying with a 13.65 on this apparatus.
A good all-round gymnast, 3rd all-around in the Russian Championships this year.
Vera Van Pol is getting ready for the beam.
It's a risky start, but well done. Compulsory full spin. Holding on to that acro series flick layout. Settling down into the routine. The Dutch team have been enjoying great international success recently, moving well up the rankings with some beautiful aesthetic work on beam and floor especially. Full twisting Corbett flip, very difficult. Oh, big stutter, but she's still there. Here's the dismount, 1.5 twist. She'll be relieved to get through that routine.
Just stayed on. Not as tall as Marder, 157, but still on the taller side. While going to look at Lee Grieser from Germany on the uneven bars. Just a few minutes ago, she was 9th in qualifying. 13.25 on this apparatus. Can she better that?
Working well so far with good extension. Excellent flexibility in those stalders. Great height on the Pipe Jaeger. Oh, that'll be costly. And a double front somersault to finish. Shelgunova scoring 13.9 on bars. An improvement on her qualification score.
And it'll be Sasada next up on that apparatus. Van Pol 11.4. So you can see there is a bit of a gap between that group and the group currently on uneven bars. Sasada was just preparing those bars a few seconds ago. I think she's ready to go now.
She's just got to wait for the judges. They're still deliberating over Grieser. Always a difficult time for the gymnast. You never know exactly when the judges are going to be ready. It can be quick or it can be inordinately long. You need to just retain your composure and not let the weight get to you. Coaches will be talking to her, trying to keep her calm.
St. Greece a 13.25 in qualifying.
Vera Van Pol 11.4 on beam. A few major wobbles, reducing the score somewhat.
Quite heavily strapped right ankle there as well for Greece. Hope that's not going to impair her on the beam. 13.2.
There it is, yep. It's okay. And here comes Natsumi Sasada. Coach is allowed to stand in for safety reasons, but not allowed to support the gymnast unless they have to. Great squat dislocate into straddle Jaeger. Toe on, full turn into a Kachev, building combination bonus and fulfilling the requirements of this piece. No stops permitted. Double back with full twist in the second somersault. Safely through. Very nicely done.
Got that bronze medal 2 years ago in this competition, Sasada, behind her countrywoman Telemoto. Another strong challenge from Japan this time out.
Looks quite happy with that performance, and so she should. Some great work on those elements. This is quite unusual, borrowed from the men's program. Adler into the straddle Jaeger. Thinking very fast here, full twist, immediately releasing the bar into the Kachev. And a nice late twisting double back somersault, knees locked together for a safe landing. And guards away until tomorrow.
Ellie Black ready to go. Joint leader after the first rotation. She'll know a long, long way to go.
Difficult piece for Ellie. Scored 13.55, capable of a big routine.
Sasada 13.2.
Improving on our qualification score as we move to Ellie Black of Canada. What a shame. Very difficult combination. Shaposhnikova straight into clear circle. Kachev just came unstuck. That is going to be costly.
We've said it before, the margins of error on the uneven bars are very small indeed. That's a one mistake, can't really afford any more throughout the four apparatus, or else the Japanese or your DAC will be on top of the podium.
Same move done with legs together. Hopping into undergrasp, slight pause there, into the pike Jaeger. Struggling a little bit. This apparatus missed a combination there. Finishes well with a front somersault half turn. She's now got to pull something very special out if she's going to stay in the hunt for medals in this all-around competition.
Yeah, that's how tight it is in this competition. One mistake can obviously be very costly. Gabriela Janek of Poland, we saw a few minutes ago. What can she do on the beam? This is tricky for a taller gymnast.
Started well on bars. Great connection there. Holding on to that front somersault well. Very confident approach. Big wobble, but staying on the apparatus on the side somersault. 90 seconds to produce 8 elements. Dance, acro, leaps, and a dismount. Compulsory spin, safely negotiated. And a 1.5 twist, dismount.
Indeed, never easy.
Well, the score for Ellie Black, 12.9. As we look at world champion Spiridonova. Very complex connection, safely through. Toe on half turn to a sky-high pike Jaeger. Toe full turn, straight into the dismount. Great routine from Spiridonova.
Warming up.
Specialist on this piece of apparatus is Daria. World champion in 2015 in a really unusual 4-way tie in Glasgow, Scotland. Never seen that before. Shared the podium with 3 other gymnasts.
Gabriela Janek, 12.5, and that's the best score so far, Paul. And when you're 5'7", 1m69, that's a very creditable display. And just need to hear your thoughts on the height, because obviously it's such an important element. It's much harder for the taller girls on asymmetric bars. It's not impossible. I'm thinking of the great Svetlana Korkina, who was 1m65, but she was considered almost a giant, wasn't she?
Absolutely. It's
for the likes of Janek, who's even taller than that, 1m69, it's very tough.
a big advantage on vault, where it's easier to get over the table than to get extra height, but when your centre of mass is 1.5 meters above the beam, it seems an awful long way to fall. Added to the problems of getting between the uneven bars, it's very, very difficult. But when you can perform well, looks elegant, looks beautiful. The line showing off very well.
As Korkina did, a double Olympic champion on the uneven bars. What a competitor she was.
Still waiting for Spiridonova's score on the uneven bars. And that will give us an indication of the top of the qualifiers. 14.45.
Well, that's a big improvement on the 13.9 in qualifying. That puts her right back in contention, Spiridovina. In fact, she's more than in contention. She's got above Shelgunova, and she's top after 2 rotations. Gone above Black and Sasada, 28.1. And suddenly the Russians are at the top 2.
Yes, Russia 1 and 2 with Ellie Black with that mistake coming into 3rd, but we've still got Asuka Teramoto about to go on uneven bars. It'll be a vital routine for Teramoto. She had a fall in qualification, and if she can go clean, she'll be challenging for a medal.
That's right, she's in that second half of that stronger group. They're still warming up, in case you were wondering. So there's going to be a bit of a pause as we go through this competition with the groups being divided into two. It's going to be really interesting to see what the second Japanese gymnast can do. Sasada 13-2. Tadamoto, looking at her score, was 12.7, which is one of the lower ones. Obviously, that wasn't a very good piece for her.
Stars of the future being inspired by some wonderful performances. About to see Mai Liu Xiang Han performing on the beam. Great support for the local gymnast. Not a good start, unfortunately. Two different directions of the twist, didn't quite come off. Flick tuck back. Stayed on. Well held on the side somersault. Very difficult to be calm and collected on this apparatus with so much expectation in the arena. Again, a pike back somersault. And a big smile to finish.
11.3 was the qualifying score on the beam. 48-2 was her total score, saying she just sneaked into the final. Meanwhile, on the other group, Pauline Tratzpool was just completing her routine a few seconds ago.
Yes, we're just waiting for Pauline's score. Judges deliberating on beam as well. Quite a few calculations to get through, adding up the difficulty to give a start score, while 6 other e-jury judges have to average their scores to give an execution value. Those two are combined to give the overall score. Complicated affair, but it will provide us with a winner at the end of this event.
Indeed, they are right to take their time in such an important competition.
And they've got to get it right.
If they don't, the coaches will have something to say,
Yes.
as we've already seen.
Yes, there is an appeal process. It doesn't often happen because the judges are pretty accurate nowadays. But the D score can be questioned for a fee. You need to certainly be sure that you have a point if you're going to protest.
It's a reimbursable fee, I imagine, if you're correct. Otherwise, there certainly would be very few of them, as Anna Martins gets ready to go. Bronze medalist on the beam 2 years ago. Just missed out on a medal in the all-arounds. She would dearly love to get on the podium at the end of this evening's action.
12.9 for Pauline Tratz of Germany on bars. Transitions from high to low. Slightly off handstand in the toe full turn, did well to recover. Coach coming in. Just stand by for the release. Here it comes. Jaeger somersault. What a shame. Good routine, marred by a fall on the dismount.
Like Black, a mistake could prove very costly for Martins. Went to the last Olympics as well. She was 37th in the all-around there from a smaller gymnastics nation. We were talking about the relative advantages and disadvantages of that situation. Go back live to Barbara Mokosova.
Yes, Mokosova working well on a difficult piece of apparatus. Tall, great extension on that leap. Small adjustment on the full spin. A solid side somersault. Unusual full twist, facing sideways on the beam. The 10-second signal sounds. She's got to work fast now. One and a half twist. Maybe just slightly out of time.
.3 in qualifying. So far, it's still Janic with the best score on the beam, the tallest competitor here. Now, Larissa Yordake.
Here's a lady with a job to do. Beautiful work. Great connections. Top draw difficulty. Needs a big release now. There it is. Beautiful toe on full turn, straight into the full twisting double back dismount. Wonderful routine from Larissa Yordake.
Yeah, she was happy with that. We were saying she missed out on the last Olympics. She did go to 2012, getting a surprise bronze for the Romanian women who are on the back end of a great generation then. Things are a bit tougher now. We were saying couldn't qualify for Rio, but if you're a female gymnast and a very good one in Romania, there's a lot of pressure on you, isn't there? It's a country that really does put the gymnasts under a lot of focus early on in their career.
Absolutely, what a tradition and a history. There's Romanian gymnastics for women, starting with the great Nadia Comaneci way back in 1976, the perfect 10, and then moving through. So many great teams, so many great gymnasts. And Yordake continuing that tradition.
They were the country that challenged the Soviet Union. So now back live with Meila Linnonen from Finland. She was impressive in qualifying, 12:45.
Flick layup. Far working very well. Free cartwheel, the minor adjustment, and preparing for the dismount. Gotta go quick. Just in time, 2 flicks into a full twisting back somersault. Meila Linnonen can be happy with that.
Well, back on the uneven bars, it's Asuka Teramoto, candidate for a medal.
Hopefully see that routine shortly, but I can tell you that Larissa Yodake scored 14.3 on bars, improved her qualification score, and has really ramped up the campaign to win this title today.
Certainly has. Remember, Spiridonova 14.45. That's still the best on the uneven bars, but Yodake pushing her pretty close at 14.3 as we just see the end of Linenen's routine. Linenen, another one who just qualified 15th. Delighted to be here. Here is Teramoto from a few seconds ago, and a really important routine it was too.
Inside Stolder with half turn straight into the Jaeger that she had problems with at qualifications. Working well so far today. Stolder full turn, straight into the Ginger. Powerful dynamic gymnast. Small, fast, exciting. Straddle Jaeger. Great work. Needs a good dismount. Winding up into a double back with full twist. That was a great routine from Teramoto.
A few minutes ago, judges deliberating. And it's 13.950, so a little below 14 and the third best score so far. So what that all means is that Yodake has the lead. And it's a lead of a quarter of a point halfway through.
It's a massive score for Teramoto, a full mark above her qualification routine. And it will really put her in with a chance of being on that podium.
Yeah, there's a full point now between Yodake and Shelgunova. Yodake, Teramoto and Spiridonova, the top three. And that mistake from Black, very costly indeed. She's back in 5th now. Just go back live to Brianna Tsang from Canada.
Showing a beautiful full twisting backflip. And a double twist dismount to complete the routine.
Gymnast, move to the next apparatus.
Brianna, a student at Penn State University in America.
So that was a good round for Spiridonova and a very good one for Yodake. Can explain what that means for the overall standings, Paul.
Well, it puts Larissa Yodake into first place, 28.7, just a few tenths ahead of Asuka Teramoto of Japan as they move towards the beam. And I've got a feeling this competition is going to be decided on the next piece of apparatus. It's all about holding your nerve and staying on that most difficult of pieces. Spiridonova in third place, together with her compatriot Shelgunova, 28.1, 27.75, and Ellie Black in 5th. Not out of contention by any means, but she's going to need a great beam and a great floor.
Well, she had a great beam in qualifying, 14.4, easily the best. And the next best was a 13.5 from Shelgunova, so she'll be confident as well. Yodake, incidentally, was 13.45, so she'll need to up her game a little bit.
Warm-up starts, and it'll give us a chance to see the girls on floor for the first time today. There's confirmation of the scores halfway through the competition. Yodake in first place, followed by Teramoto of Japan, Spiridonova and Shelgunova of Russia, and Ellie Black of Canada in 5th.
On full exercise, the Netherlands, Belgium, Hungary, Poland.
That's how they stand so far. 2 rounds to go.
On balance beam, Germany, Japan,
Yes, and I think we can expect some changes at the top following the next few pieces. A lot's going to happen.
The women will need to keep their nerve on the beam, the leaders. And also the question we had yesterday about the music coming from a few meters away, they'll have that issue as well. music coming from the floor routines at the moment, as Paul Hall was saying, all about the beam, who can hold their nerve, maybe do something a little bit special. Yodake leads by 1/4 of a point from Teramoto, and has Spiridonova on 28.1, which is 0.35 behind Teramoto.
Three minutes of warming up, 30 seconds per gymnast. The girls getting ready for 90 seconds maximum of floor routine.
Mentioned at the top of the program, Paul, that Kelly Sim, she was originally down to come here to Taipei City, but couldn't make it because of injury. Give us an update on Kelly, her career, how's she doing, and any news on the injury?
I think she's doing well. I think she's hoping to qualify for Montreal. She's just recovering from a few issues and preparing, not quite ready for this competition, but hopefully we'll see her in Montreal along with some of the other British girls in a few weeks' time.
That's right, she's still based down in Southampton, is that right?
That's right,
on
coached
the
by
south
Keith
coast
Richardson.
of England, yeah.
And had a great result 2 years ago in Guangzhou at the Universiade there.
That's right, Kelly beating Teramoto and Sasada in that all-around. Super performance from her. We're just getting ready to go onto the floor as well as the beam. The beam will be more important in terms of the rankings at the top. But Vera van Pol from the Netherlands going on the floor.
Big jump on that double pike. Plenty of bounce. Very hard to control on such an elastic floor. But working with vigor and style. Nicely through that 1.5 punch full combination. Showing great musicality. Very nice interpretation of the musical tempo here from Vera. Dancing away into the corner. Settling down. Into a big tumble, 2.5 twist to finish. Good routine from Vera van Pol.
She was 10th in qualifying. She's going to struggle to be in the top 10 by the looks of things. She needs a good floor routine. The mark, incidentally, in qualifying was 12.4. It's Leah Grieser, by the way, on the beam. So you're not missing too much. Grieser back in 8th place. She's just finished off her routine, has the woman based in Karlsruhe, as we see the end of Van Pol.
Good expressive work from Vera. There's the dismount. Legs together, 2.5 twist. Safely negotiated to finish the routine. And a 12.6 from the judges on floor.
So an improvement after qualifying for Vera van Pol. Next up, Dorian Motten from Belgium.
Beautiful double Arabian start from Dorian. I was impressed with her bars routine. She's continuing her great form on the floor area. Knees locked together on that double somersault, as they should be. Good extension in that 1.5 twist backwards punch full. And a change of tempo. Building to the last tumble. Double back somersault. Good work from the Belgian. Safely through her tumbles. An exciting performance.
So Dorian Motten looking to perhaps get in the top 12 realistically at this stage for the Belgium. Elsewhere, Natsumi Sasada is on the beam. She's just completed that routine. Very important one it is too for the medal candidate.
All the girls here very competitive. Some perhaps realising they might not make it to the front of the competition, but very much with their own personal goals, personal scores, personal positions to try to achieve. And they'll be doing their best to go through as clean as possible. Motten showing combinations of twisting somersaults, double somersaults, passages of dance and solid landings with a good interpretation of the music that she chooses for her routine.
So Van Motten, we'll see her again tomorrow, Paul, in the vault final. I can tell you that Sasada has a good score, 13.85, the best so far.
Yes, that's a big score. 0.5 higher than a qualification score on beam.
Bronze medalist last time out. Ellie Black really needs a top draw beam now to make up for the uneven bars.
That's a really confident start. Wow, double spin. Not holding back at all is Ellie. Pike front somersault, rock solid. Flick layout. This is looking good so far. Second front somersault. Great connection there. Very secure on this apparatus. If she can sort this dismount, she'll be back in business. Double pike. Great performance from Ellie. Punches the air, breathes a sigh of relief. She knows how well she's done.
Well, she was best on the beam in qualifying, wasn't she? So we shouldn't be surprised that she's enjoyed her time back on the beam. Let's see if that does put her back in contention for a medal. Already has a silver in the team.
Competed in 2013 in Kazan at the Universiade there in Russia. So she likes this stage, vastly experienced. And that can help on this apparatus, certainly.
27.4 was the score at the halfway stage. Jordak was 28.7, so she's got some ground to make up. But this so often is the apparatus where points are lost, a little slip here and there, nerves creeping in. No nerves there.
Double pike somersault.
Remember, she was up to 14.4 qualifying. Do you think it'll be anything close to that?
Oh yes, I think certainly she's capable of that. 14, a little bit down, but still a monster score for this piece of apparatus.
And the best so far as Spiridonova gets ready to go. The Russian challenge is there as ever. 28.1 at the halfway stage. A mistake immediately.
Wow. So difficult. Always a risk to start with a complex skill. It comes off, it's a good motivation for the rest of the routine, but it can so easily go wrong. To draw on her experience now to recover and show just what she can do. Beautiful work. Full spin with the leg high above the head. Big leap. Head thrown back. Very difficult, very risky. Few steps on the double back dismount. That's going to prove costly for Spiridonova.
Certainly will. Fourth in qualifying, 13.25 on the beam. And after Black's excellent 14, and now Sasada's very good 13.85. She'll lose ground, no doubt about that.
She's in the beam final tomorrow, so she'll use that as valuable experience to go back to the training gym, a little bit more practice, and hopefully hit the routine in the final.
You're hearing the music for Gabriela Janik's routine on the floor, by the way. As we wait for Spiridonova's score. Part of that Olympic team in London, Spiridonova, 19 years old, so she's got another Olympics in her. Coached by Tatiana Fomkina.
Here's the mistake, slightly over to one side on the round off. Just couldn't hold on. Once your shoulders drift outside of the line of the beam, there's no going back.
We were talking about spatial awareness. It's got to be so important on that kind of start to a beam routine. And well, 12-2, that's well down. And that might put her out of contention. Pauline Tretz from Germany.
Solid work so far. Flick tuck back. No visible wobble. She's working well. Here's the full spin. Deep breath, preparing for the dismount. Front somersault first. 10 seconds to get back on. Now. A lot of noise in the arena while the Chinese Taipei gymnast performs on the floor. Double back somersault dismount, but a mishap on the front somersault towards the end of that routine.
Well, it's another fault, this time for Tratz, just 17 years old. She'll be heading, Paul, to UCLA next year to train and compete with the Bruins. I think it's a good move at this stage of one's career, very early stage in the career, but she's 17, going from Germany to UCLA. What could that do for her career?
Well, absolutely. The collegiate program in America is a wonderful opportunity to gain competition experience. They're well supported, get a good academic education, and from January they're competing most weeks to packed audiences like we're seeing today. And it gives you plenty of experience performing under pressure and working in a very motivational environment. I'm sure she's going to benefit from that.
Yeah, I've seen those competitions on TV. They're really well done. Lots of fans, a real show, as you'd expect from the United States organisers. It's going to be a great experience for Pauline. We wish her the best of luck in California. Meanwhile, Mai Lui Sai Han has just finished off 11.65 after that fall for the German. Massive support for Mai Lui Sai Han, as the first half of that group finish up on the floor.
We get a quick look at Mai Liu's routine on floor, some video playback. He certainly involved the crowd in this routine. They were very vociferous. I wonder if that was difficult for Tratz to work on the beam. There's a lot of noise going on for this gymnast.
Indeed.
Floor exercise, Slovakia.
So that's Mai Liu. Meanwhile, on the beam, really looking forward to Yordake.
On balance beam, Portugal, Romania,
And
Japan.
Teramoto still to go as well, so a couple of really important routines coming up. As things stand, Black back to the top, 41.4, ahead of Sasada, 40.75, but obviously, as I was saying, Yordak still to go, 28.7, and Teramoto, 28.45. We've said it so many times, it's all about consistency in this all-around. Black fell. I wonder if she'll regret that at the end of the floor.
Yes, we're seeing the girls' technical, physical ability. We also need to see their mental capabilities, the ability to be resilient and to cope with the immense pressure of competing at this level. Being able to do what you do every day in training, to repeat it in competition, no easy task. I've been coaching for many years and I'm still in awe at these girls when they do that routine on a 10-centimetre piece of wood. Very, very difficult.
Talk about mental toughness. Yordake showed it so far, 14.4, 14.3. Coming back from that very nasty injury. That'll be a really nice story if she can go back to Romania with the Universiade gold. She's got a lot of work to do before she does that, but very well placed on the 28.7 so far, Larissa Yordake.
And a good result here will be a boost to anybody's career and a great fillip for anybody going to the Montreal World Championships. It will send a strong statement out to the judges, to the selectors, and many important people in their quest for world titles as well as Universiade titles.
Indeed, these gymnasts spend so many hours in the gym, perhaps relatively not that much time in international competition, so this is a chance to show what you can do. And Yordak so far has done that, but we're looking at Anna Martins. Just missed out on a medal last time out on the all-around, though she won one on this apparatus, the beam. Let's see what she can do here.
He flicks into a layout, travelling the whole length of the beam. Free walkover, leap combination. Setting up for a difficult spin. And maintain big concentration throughout. That's a difficult leap. Nicely through the free cartwheel. Building for the dismount. 2.5 twist. Good routine from Ana Filipa Martins.
21-year-old from Porto. Big star back home. She was actually named the Female Athlete of the Year by the Portuguese Sports Confederation 2015.
And she's a Rio Olympian, and she'll be an Olympian for the rest of her life. It's a tremendous honour and a very elite group.
She's proud of it there. I think she's got the Olympic rings tattooed on the back of her neck there, if I'm not mistaken. Just see the end of the routine from Barbara Mokosova, excuse me. Milo, incidentally, 12.95, which is the best on the floor so far for the gymnast from Chinese Taipei. So just waiting for Martin's score. And when the Portuguese gets that, we'll have Larissa Iordache from Romania, then Terremoto. It's going to be 5 or 6 very important minutes coming up, Paul.
Yes. Martins is a reserve for beam and floor tomorrow. It's a difficult position to be in. You can't quite relax. You're hoping that you might actually make the final. 9th place is in a good position. But maybe we'll see more of her tomorrow. Certainly like to after that great performance on the beam. Kosovo scored 12.45 on the floor. Next up on floor will be Maija Lainonen of Finland.
Incidentally, the Portuguese 13.0 in qualifying. Iordache just ready to get going. 13.150, so she's improved on that.
Yes, it was a good routine. So, this is important. Wow. Round off somersault with full twist. Top draw difficulty from Iordache. That is costly. Tried a second full twist. Immense difficulty. It's such a risk. It didn't pay off. Straight back on, recovering well, but that has set the cat amongst the pigeons. Beautiful spin. Round off flick, triple twist in the dismount, a fall on a tuck full twist, marring what was an otherwise beautiful performance from Larissa Iordache. And we've seen falls now from the 2 main contenders, Ellie Black and Iordache, in this all-around competition.
That was the question we were asking, and she knows it, doesn't she? I think the coach was trying to console her, and she just knew she'd made the mistake. She's really let it affect her there, but just to steel herself for the floor to come.
Absolutely, all to play for. And there, waiting in the wings, is a Terremoto that has competed 2 pieces very well. If she can get through a beam routine, there could be a major upset.
Well, as an experienced coach yourself, what would you be telling Iordache at a time like this?
Put it behind you, get ready for floor, and let's see what you can do. It's not over until it's over.
wonderful talent. But that slip could happen to anyone. Happened at a bad time for her.
A brave routine. Straight full twist to start and then a tuck full twist halfway through. She could have played safe, but no way for this gymnast. She's got something to prove. She'll be back in the fight with a good floor routine, I'm sure.
Well, tomorrow she'll be here on the uneven bars floor. And indeed the beam. She really is suffering after that. She's talking to herself. She's almost close to tears there, Paul. Can't believe that she made the mistake, but she will have to put it behind her, and she might still be in with a chance, because apart from that, it was a very impressive. The D score will be relatively high, but how much will it all amount to?
Her D score will be vastly important in this all-around
14. Well,
Big
still a
score.
very good score. It's the top so far, the joint best.
And it's top because it was so complex. Massive difficulty. Even with a fall, she finds herself in contention.
Asuka Teramoto in with a chance as well. I was reading her notes on the FIG site earlier today. She lists a certain Larissa Yordaki as one of her idols. She's competing against her today.
Following on the beam. Rock solid in that acro combination. Great half turn into that handspring. Yanodi skill. Teramoto working with composure and poise. She builds for the dismount. Triple twist. That was good.
Well, I can tell you, Paul, she'll need 14.25 to get up with Yordaki, so it's going to have to be very, very good.
I don't think she's going to get near to that, but it certainly sets the scene for a wonderful floor finale. Just looking back at Yordaki's D score, 6.5 is a massive difficulty score. And reason why she could score 14, she could carry a whole mark deduction and still take 1.5 in execution from the E panel. 6.5 on the D score for Larissa Yordaki.
She did pack a lot into that, didn't she? It looks like this woman Teramoto will be between Yordaki and Black, but I wonder if she'll be closer to Yordaki or Black.
Yeah, scored 13.3 yesterday. Very difficult triple twist. Well executed on the dismount.
Shulgovina still to come, remember, but let's see the score for Teramoto. Will it be somewhere close to that 14 that Black and Yordaki have? It's a big ask. Bronze medal, a silver medalist, excuse me, last time out in the all-around.
Nervous wait for Teramoto.
Gone to 2 Olympic Games, so very experienced. It's vitally important to her, though. She's not going to get 14.25 to go top, but how close will she get to that?
Well, it could be very close. 8th all around in Rio, 11th all around in London, 2 Olympic Games. Tremendous all around competitor. She knows all about pressure. There's no greater than an Olympic Games. And she's working well so far.
Narrowly missing out on a beam medal in 2014 behind the great Mustafina. Still waiting. It's quite a long wait, this one, for Teramoto and for us as well.
Judges have a big job. They have to get it right. They've got to check, confirm that all the composition requirements were there, all the necessary splits. The difficulty is calculated correctly, no mistakes in the complex maths, and that the range of the 6 e-jury judges is within the parameters allowable.
The execution was good, no major mistakes anyway. Teramoto. The Chukyo University in the capital.
The panel of judges, the execution panel of judges, have to give their scores. The highest and the lowest are taken away, and the others are averaged to give the average execution deduction. While we're waiting for that score, we go to Jasmine Maeder of Austria with her floor routine. Starting with a very nice double somersault, compulsory requirement in the women's program. Next have to show forwards and backwards tumbles. There's the forward example, straight front somersault, and a good change of rhythm. The dance passage. Working our way into the corner. A very nice double twist. Good finish for Jasmine Maeder of Austria. And I'll go to the vault for her final apparatus.
I can tell you Teramoto 13.8.
That's a good score for her.
So what that means is she is 0.45 behind Yordak. That's a lot to make up on the floor. And Sholgunova, we haven't forgotten about her. She's in with a chance still.
Great combination from Sholgunova. Not a wobble so far. Powerful front somersault. Great leap. Fast, aggressive, determined. Big breath, settles down, prepares for the all-important dismount. Double pike somersault, a good routine. Yevgenia Sholgunova.
She was national champion on this apparatus back in 2013. She needs 13.65, Paul, to get into a medal position. Do you think that's good enough, 13.65?
I think it's going to be close. Scored a 13.5, and that looked like a very confident routine. Well, the stage is set. An almighty finale on the floor area. Three gymnasts in good contention. Yodake with 42.7, carrying a fall against Teramoto with 42.25. A clean competition. They're going to need to work very well on the floor to get onto that podium.
Well, Yodaka was distraught after that beam routine, but look, she's got a healthy lead, 42.7, ahead of 42.25 for Teramoto. We're still waiting for the score for Gunova. So
seeing the score of 14, even with a fall, will certainly have motivated her, made her realise that it's certainly not over yet.
Is there a big difference in terms of gymnasts' mentality, how hard they are on themselves? Do some really beat themselves up over the slightest mistake, and others, you actually as a coach need to push them in that direction?
I think it's a very important skill to be able to move from one apparatus and from one difficult mistake to be able to come back stronger. Not everybody can do it, but it's the mark of a champion if you can just keep going and put those mistakes behind you, go to the next apparatus as if you've performed a clean competition.
Do you prefer a gymnast who's very hard on themselves, or one that actually needs a bit of a encouragement, put it that way?
I'd like a gymnast that can just go to each apparatus with a clean brain, switched on, ready to go. They don't need to be too hard. They need to put all those performances behind them and just focus on the job in hand.
Well, we're coming to money time in this competition for the women's all-around title. It's getting very exciting, but there's no doubt it's the Romanian in pole position. Larissa Iordache's 42.7 points, Teramoto 42.25, and a little way back is the Canadian Ellie Black, 41.4. We're still waiting on Shelagunova, though, because that could change things. She's not going to be in the top two, but could get into third spot. 13.6 for the Russian, and that puts her into fourth, just behind Black. There's going to be a real scrap for bronze, isn't there? With 0.05 between the Canadian and the Russian, but it's looking very good for Iordache.
It's all about going clean on this final piece of apparatus. A fall will prove too costly for Iordache and Teramoto. Confirmation after three apparatus. Iordache at the top, 42.7. Narrowly in front of Asuka Teramoto of Japan, and Ellie Black in third.
Now looking at the order, Paul, it looks like Sasada will go first. Teramoto will be two from the end after Iordache. So will Teramoto take some chances, look to see what Iordache's done, and maybe, if necessary, really go for broke?
It's quite unusual to change the floor routine. The routines tend to be quite set there to music, standard music. The tumbles have been worked very, very hard, so it's unlikely they'll make too many adjustments to the routine. They'll just be working very hard to be as secure as possible in all of their tumbles. So, warm-up is over, and we move to the floor area. The final routine for Natsumi Sasada.
Sasada currently down in 5th place and unlikely to get a medal. She needs something really super here to overtake Black.
Full twisting double somersault with a deep landing. It's a good combination. Whip back somersault into double back. Good, powerful jumps. Sada working her way towards the corner. The final seconds of the routine. One more tumble. And she get round to her feet. Double pike somersault. Safely through.
Today's work over for Natsumi Sasada. She'll be back tomorrow on the floor and the beam. I think he's going to just miss out on a medal today in the all-around. Got that bronze a couple of years ago. Who will succeed Kelly Sim, I wonder. Just had a 13.5 volt from Dorian Motton. It's going to be Ellie Black next.
There's the double pike dismount. A little bit deep on the landing. .5 for Natsumi Sasada. Completes her fourth apparatus.
It's a top temporarily. For Ellie Black looking to realistically hold on to a bronze medal position.
Wow. 2.5 twist, step out into double Arabian. Fantastic work. Powerful, powerful tumbling. Double twist forward, punch front. Dramatic. Powerful. Black moving well, recovered from her fall on beam. Very expressive, very determined. Wants to be on that podium. Beautiful triple twist. Great routine from Ellie Black on the floor.
She's not going to give up a medal without a scrap. She's only got 13.45 in qualification. I think she'll do better than that there.
Certainly has the potential to do that.
And certainly Sasada 12.5 earlier. We're waiting for Black, and the roar goes up, of course, for Mailiu Sanghyun, who's ready to go on the vault in a few seconds.
2.5 twist, step out into double back somersault, all in the same diagonal. That's big work.
Just saw a 13.9, an impressive 13.9 from Gabriela Yannick.
Well, this is an important score for Ellie Black. She has every chance.
I can tell you it's 13.55. Just a minor improvement on what she did in qualifying. She's already texting perhaps friends. she's finished for the day, so she's got the
Yes,
right to
needs
do
to
that.
recover now, rest up. She's got a big day tomorrow. Got to do it all again.
Well, no one will be busier than her floor finals. Just looking back at that leap from Mei Liu a few seconds ago, that was at 12:45.
Completes the competition and a very positive experience. As we look at Daria Spiridonova on her final apparatus, the floor. Two and a half twist. Pauses and leaps. The double pike. Short on the landing. Showing a little bit of fatigue here. Good finish for Spiridonova on the floor.
She'll be back for a couple of finals as well tomorrow on the uneven bars and beam. No medal for her. Looks a bit disappointed as well. She'll have to raise her spirits overnight and come back tomorrow more than capable of getting a medal tomorrow.
54.95 total for Ellie Black. 1 mark down on her qualification score. She's now got to sit back and see what Yodake and Teramoto are going to do.
Maybe that's what she was doing on her mobile phone. What I'm doing, just calculating what Yodake needs to do.
Yes, there's double Arabian opening tumble from Spiridonova sitting down.
I can tell you 12:25 is the target for Yodake.
More than capable of achieving that.
But Black has beaten Sasada, which is already an excellent performance in itself. And currently Gabriella Yannick in third. She's looking good for a top 6-7.
Yes, I think Teramoto more than capable of going ahead of Black with her routine as well.
So waiting for Pauline Tratz next up on the floor, incidentally. So Spiridonova, she looked really disappointed at the end of that.
Yes, major fall on the first element and a big stumble on the last one. Not her best performance. Be back tomorrow on beam and bars. Still in the hunt for medals. 11.4.
11.4, that leaves her even behind Yannick, in fact. So Gabriella Yannick of Poland, be delighted with that, coming above one of the Russians.
Fantastic performance, should see her into the top 6. Mile high in that falling back out. Beautiful extension in that double pike. An unfortunate error on that difficult combination. 1.5 twist backwards, punch full. Building for the final tumble. The double tug back somersault. And they're in the middle. A little disappointed with the final performance, but some good work in the earlier parts of the competition from Pauline Tratz of Germany.
Performance of Tainted Love. Name check to the great soul singer Gloria Jones, who first performed that song back in the 60s, made famous about 20 years later by Soft Cell.
Yes, I only remember the Soft Cell. Beautiful opening tumble, falling back out.
She'll be back on the floor tomorrow, so it's not the last we've seen of her. And it will be the same routine tomorrow, is that right, Paul?
Absolutely. I think she'll be looking to make amends tomorrow. Tratz helped her team to a 12th position in the World Championships 2015. There's the score, 11.95. A little disappointing, but another chance tomorrow.
So Martins of Portugal is next up. Now she needs 12.9 just to get above Yannick. Just to underline how well Yannick has done. She should be capable of that, but nevertheless, we could have a pole in the top 5 or 6.
Back somersault stayed in the floor area. Dramatic music, dramatic interpretation. Nice double spin, leg held high. Working away into the corner. For a twisting tumble, handspring full twist. Not going to be the most difficult D score, so she'll be looking to do it with very good execution, clean lines. These girls will work not just with coaches but with specialist choreographers to work out the intricate dance passages. A lot of competition between choreographers around the world to find original elements. This is good dance work from Ana Filipa. Good performance to round off her all-around competition today.
And she will need 12.9 to get above Gabriela Yannick. She got incidentally 12.7 in qualifying.
It's going to be close. Not the highest difficulty. Cleanly done.
She's not going to disturb the scorers at the top. So with Black, 54.95. Quite a way ahead of Sasado, 53.25. But we still have Teramoto, her score, and more importantly, Yordak.
Yes, we'll have the answers in a few minutes' time. The warm-up starts for the final few gymnasts on the last two apparatus in this Universiade final.
12.3 is the target for Yordak, and as she got 13.65, she should be very confident at the moment. She needs to get that beam performance behind her. Though when you look at the actual score for the beam, it was very impressive. So
helped by a massive D score of 6.5.
14.0 on the beam. Only 21, but still with a lot of experience, Yordak, and she'll know to cut out any mistakes. And she definitely has the weapons to go home with an all-around gold. Just waiting on Martin's score. Needing a 12.9 to get above her challenger from Poland, Janic, which should be, what, 5th place.
Sending the all-important messages home.
What's your policy on the use of mobile phones in competition, Paul?
Well,
and indeed in training?
I try to avoid them as much as possible. Anything that's going to detract from physical effort, for me, is not so good. Lots of technology used in training nowadays, though. Video analysis, tablets that will record and immediately reproduce. Very helpful.
30.25, just to interrupt you, but it's fascinating what you're saying, because of course now everything can be recorded so easily and analysed, which wasn't always the case. Now, Larissa Jordak, a gold medal within her grasp. Can she finish the job?
Good opening tumble. Pulling back out, nailed to the floor. Starting well. Two and a half twist punch front. Safely negotiated. Moving closer and closer to the gold medal. Intricate dance, leap combinations, changes of tempo, great interpretation of the music. Picture of concentration as she moves into a wonderful triple twist. This is looking good for Larissa Jordak. Good spin. Heading to the corner. Possibly heading to victory. The all-important final tumble. To double pike, stuck to the floor. She gives a smile. She knows it's enough.
Larissa Jordak, your gold medal winning performance. And one just got the feeling that after the beam, she thought her chance was gone. She wasn't going to let it go again. In total control throughout that whole display. A brilliant one it was too. And the golden girl of Romanian gymnastics has had terrible luck with injuries. She's surely going to go home with a gold medal in the all-around competition.
Well, they say that fortune favours the brave. There's none braver than Jordak today. She pulled out all the stops on beam. Didn't quite come off, but that difficulty has seen her through. Consummate performance on the floor. She's always said she has something to prove. Missed out on 2016, and this could be her moment.
Determination was just running through that performance, wasn't it? You could see it in the body language before. Wasn't going to let that chance go.
Very easy when you have all that energy to overcook the tumbles and miss out, but she's an experienced performer. Has held it together well.
The congratulations of her coach. I think he knows as well the job's being done. And she performed it just as if she was in training in the gym with no one watching.
That's how it has to be. Gymnastics not demanding personal bests and huge adrenaline-filled performances, just repeats.
The score is through. It's 14.05.
Well deserved.
Huge score. No one's going to catch her. Larissa Jordak is going to be the new all-around champion. Whatever Asuka Teramoto does, it won't be enough.
About a 14.3. Gonna need an immense routine. I'm not sure that she's got anywhere near the difficulty to do that. Let's watch and enjoy the power of this dynamic figure. Well, she's not giving up without a fight. 2.5 twist into a punch front. Great work from Teramoto. Throwing everything into this routine. Double pike, glued to the floor. She couldn't have done that better.
Well, Asuka Teramoto needs something above 14.5, which no one has done in this competition. But my word, she gave it everything. Took a few risks. Should be enough for silver, maybe more, but it would need a massive score, Paul.
Yeah, second all around in Gwangju behind Kelly Sim 2 years ago. And I think it's going to be a repeat result. Wonderful consistency. Clean 4 routine performance from this all around. She's done a great job today. Ellie Black currently in second place, 54.95. Teramoto hoping to go above that score.
If she gets somewhere around 14, high 13, she will. Confident, aggressive display, no mistakes in there. The coach couldn't have really asked for much more. She was a 12th on the floor at the 2012 Olympics, so she's got form. And the result is through. It's not quite enough. It's a very good one, 13-4. But Larissa Yordak, more than a point clear. But Teramoto in second as we stand. As Shulganova gets ready.
Miles high in that double Arabian start. Two whips into a flick and a double back somersault. Double twist, safely round. To the final tumble pass, round off flick, double pike somersault, and a good finish.
Well, she needs a 14.3 for silver. That's a big ask, or a 13.6 for the bronze medal ahead of Ellie Black.
Don't think it's going to be enough.
Might end up in the dreaded 4th place. Only clocked up 12.2 in qualifying. It was better than that. But 13.6 for bronze, if my calculations are correct. As we come to the end of this women's all-around competition. On the floor, we still have Leah Grieser of Germany, but she's not in contention for a medal. Just looking to see if Shulganova can get in the top 3. 13.6 needed to deny Ellie Black. This is why the work of the judge is so important. It's a success or failure for the women who've worked so hard for this.
Day 2 over. She has beam and bars tomorrow.
Evgenia Shelganova. Will it be 13.6 or above for a medal? And if her coaches have just let her know what the target is. .12.8, no, it's short, and Ellie Black will hang on to that bronze. It's going to be Yordake, Teramoto, and Black the top three. And Shelganova in fourth. Let's sit back and enjoy the last display of the day. Leah Grisa of Germany.
Left to Leah Grisa to close out this exciting all-around final here in Taipei. Nice double somersault opener. And a 1.5 twist through to full twist. Combination tumble. Changing gear. Very good form in that 2.5 twist. Finish for Leah Grisa, and a good finish to this competition.
Blowing a kiss to the judges, it's not a bad way to finish your routine. Just wait for that score, but I can confirm Yordake, Teramoto and Black, the top three, with quite a considerable distance between those three, so no real complaints, I think, about that. And what a story for Larissa Yordake. Back at the top of her game, and she'll be going into the World Championships full of confidence after this wonderful display. 56.75, and the golden girl of Romanian gymnastics was there for the 2012 Olympics, injured for 2016, wasn't really fit enough to be anything more than an alternate. And it's a really wonderful story, had so many injury problems, a determined display at the end. How would you sum up her 4 apparatus today, Yordake?
Well, she's a superb lesson in never give up. Going to 2012, missing out on 2016. Maybe we're going to see her finish her story in 2020. Wonderful performance today. A little difficult on beam. Took a fall with a packed difficulty routine, but managed to recover with a fantastic floor exercise to come top of the pile. 56.75, great score.
We're just looking at that last performance. She's not going to trouble the top 10 from the German Grisa. Incidentally, got the result quite through. It's just come through, 13.05. She's finishing in the top 10. She's 10th. And on a decent day for Germany, there's the details. It was Yordake who's just marched off the arena a few minutes ago. She'll be absolutely delighted with that, as will everyone back in Romania watching these Universiade. Larissa Yordake back from injury, and you always talk about consistency, Paul. 4 marks over 14. Can't really ask for more than that.
Absolutely. She packed in the difficulty. She performed well and deserves this title. 56.75. Teramoto in second from Japan, and Ellie Black holding a nerve for 3rd place, bronze medal. Wonderful performance for the Canadian, 54.95. Russia taking 4th place, and a great result for Gabriela Yannick into 7th.
Indeed, it was a very good display from her. I'm just going to point out her beam score, 13.9. Well done to Yannick. But Teramoto picks up another silver in the all-around as she did 2 years ago, and Black another medal to add to the one she won yesterday for Team Canada. But the headline is Larissa Yordake, and a super gold medal for her, as you see the Canadian women enjoying a little photo opportunity. Well done to them. And we'll see a lot more of Ellie Black tomorrow. Yes. Larissa Yordake going home with the gold. Teramoto and Black complete the podium. So there you have it. I think the crowd really enjoyed that today. We've seen some top quality women's artistic gymnastics. And well done to Larissa Yordake. She's the new all-around champion, a total score of 56.75. Well clear of Asuka Teramoto and Ellie Black of Canada in third, completing the podium. That's all for myself, Andreas Evagora, and our analyst, Paul Hall. Don't forget, we're back tomorrow with all those finals from the apparatus. We have 10 of them all together, and we'll be seeing much more of these women then. Thanks for joining us, and see you much more from these 29th Universiade. That was quite long.